Hello everyone, now let us discuss about anti-anginal drugs part 3b. In the current session, we will be focusing on calcium channel blockers, especially dihydropyridine. Now coming to angina, angina is not a disease but a pain syndrome. It is a feeling of pain, squeezing or pressure in the chest. The induction of an adverse oxygen supply demand situation in a particular portion of myocardium often leads to angina. The treatment and management of angina pectoris are through medication, lifestyle modification, and surgical procedures. Now, coming to the classification of calcium channel blockers. As we all know, the calcium channel blockers are broadly categorized into three types. They are phenylalkylamines, benzodiazepines, and dihydropyridines. The phenylalkylamines are verapamil, benzodiazepines is diltiazem. And in the current session, we will be focusing on dihydropyridines. The example are nifedipine, amlodipine, lacidipine, benidipine, nimodipine, etc. Coming to modes of calcium channels. Apart from open, activated and inactivated states, the calcium channels exist in three modes: mode 0, mode 1 and mode 2, based on their response to depolarization. When the channel exists in mode 0, it does not open in response to depolarization, and majority of the dihydropyridine antagonists, they bind to channel in this mode. When it comes to mode 1, when the calcium channel is present in mode 1, depolarization produces a low opening probability, and at any given instant 70% of the channels they exist in mode 1. Now coming to mode 2. When the channel exists in mode 2, the depolarization produces high opening probability, and the DHP agonists, they bind selectively to this mode, and around 30% of the channels they exist in mode 2. Coming to the drugs, it is nifedipine. It is the first and prototype dihydropyridine. The mechanism of action is it is a vascular selective L-type calcium channel blocker. And the pharmacological actions of nifedipine is arterial dilation. It results in the reduction of total peripheral resistance, and this leads to fall in BP. And the significant direct depressant action on the heart is also seen. But it does not depress the SA node and AV conduction. Nifedipine, along with other dihydropyridines, they does not depress the SA node or AV conduction. And the nifedipine acts rapidly, resulting in reflex effects like tachycardia, increased contractility, and cardiac output. The cardiac output is increased because there is no decrease in venous return along with lowering of afterload. Coming to the pharmacokinetics, it is given orally both as immediate and extended release dosage form. The plasma T-half is 2 hours and the duration of action is 3 to 6 hours. The side effects of nifedipine are palpitations, flushing, headache, ankle edema, hypotension, drowsiness and nausea. And the side effects are dose related and can be minimized by using low starting dose or use of retard formulation. And in general, the ankle edema usually occurs due to retention. But whenever we take nifedipine, it results in ankle edema because of the greater dilation of precapillary than the postcapillary vessels. The nifedipine additionally increases the urine voiding difficulty in elderly male because of its relaxant effect on the bladder. The gastroesophageal reflex may be worsened by all DHPs due to the relaxation of esophageal sphincter. The drug interactions are nifedipine whenever co-administered with cimetidine, the plasma levels of nifedipine are increased. So dosage monitoring is essential. Coming to the marketed formulations, they are Calcigard, Dipin, Nefilat 5 and 10 mg capsules, and also 10 and 20 mg sustained release tablets. Adalat Retard is other formulation. It is available in 10 and 20 mg sustained release tablets. The next drug is amlodipine. It is the most popular dihydropyridine. The oral absorption is slow but complete, and usually peak levels occur after 6 to 9 hours, because of which the early vasodilator side effects like palpitations, flushing, headache and postural dizziness are largely avoided. The oral bioavailability is high and it undergoes first pass metabolism. The volume of distribution and T-half are also pronouncedly long in case of amlodipine. The marketed formulations are Amlopress, Amcard, Amlopin, Myojura, which are available in 2.5, 5 and 10 mg tablets. S-amlodipine is a single enantiomer. It is effective at a half the dose and it causes less ankle edema when compared to amlodipine mixture. Coming to the marketed formulations, they are S-Namlo, S-Amcard, Asomex and S-Sam, which are available in 2.5 to 5 mg tabs. Coming to the next drug, it is felodipine. Felodipine has greater vascular selectivity and large tissue distribution and longer T-half. When compared with nifedipine, felodipine has greater vascular selectivity, large tissue distribution and long T-half. It is used for symptomatic treatment of Raynaud's disease. The marketed formulations are Fiogard, Pendil, Rendil, which are available in 2.5, 5 and 10 mg extended release tablets. The next drug is nitrendipine. The oral bioavailability is 10 to 30% and the elimination half-life is 4 to 12 hours. The mechanism of action is it releases nitric oxide from endothelium, which inhibits the cyclic AMP phosphodiesterase. Because of the inhibition of cyclic AMP phosphodiesterase, it has additional vasodilation action and anti-atherosclerosis effect is also seen. Coming to the uses, it is used for angina and hypertension. The marketed formulations are Nitripin, Cardiff, which are available in 10 and 20 mg tablets. Coming to the next drug, it is Lasiripine. It is highly vasoselective dihydropyridine, which is used only for hypertension as once a day formulation. The marketed formulations are Lasivas, Sinopil, 2 and 4 mg tablets. Coming to the next drug, it is Cilnidipine. It inhibits N-type as well as L-type calcium channels. Because of this, the reflex tachycardia is prevented in Cilnidipine that occurs in other dihydropyridines. The uses are angina and hypertension. The marketed formulations are Cilacar, Cilagard, 5 and 10 mg tablets. Coming to the next drug, it is Nimodipine. It is short acting and it has a tendency to cross blood-brain barrier. It is highly lipid soluble and it has a high affinity for cerebral blood vessels. Because of the high affinity for cerebral blood vessels, it relaxes the cerebral vasculature. And Nimodipine is approved for prevention and treatment of neurological deficit due to cerebral vasospasm following subarachnoid hemorrhage or ruptured congenital intracranial aneurysms. The marketed formulations are Vasotop, Nimodip, Nimotide 30 mg tablets and 10 mg per 50 ml injections. Coming to the next drug, it is Nicardipine. It is highly vasoselective, short-acting dihydropyridine with significant effect on the coronary as well as cerebral vessels. It has direct effect on cardiac contractility, but the effect on heart rate is minimal. The bioavailability of Nicardipine is 35%. Its elimination half-life is 2 to 4 hours. And it is orally used for chronic stable angina and Raynaud's disease. And additionally, the aqueous solutions are administered intravenously and they are used for treating hypertensive emergencies. The marketed formulations are nicardipine 25 mg per 10 ml injection, and it is also available in 5 to 15 mg per hour IV infusion. Coming to the next drug, it is lercanidipine. It is similar to that of nifedipine, but it has longer duration of action, and the plasma concentration or the peak plasma concentrations are attained within 1.5 to 3 hours. The plasma half-life is 5 to 10 hours and it is used for hypertension. The available formulations are Leris, Lerca, 10 and 20 mg tablets. Coming to the next drug, it is benidipine. It is long-acting dihydropyridine and the long-acting effect is seen due to slow dissociation from dihydropyridine receptor and on the smooth muscle. It is used in angina and hypertension and it is marketed only in India and Japan. The available formulations are Caritech 4 and 8 mg tablets. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe for further videos on pharmacology and other related pharmaceutical sciences.